Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to do a quick review of a saber that was sent to me. This is the ID4 from Inspira Designs. Now this one specifically is featuring a Neopixel install from Greyside Customs. So I wanted to talk about the install and the design on the saber real quick. You saw it scroll down, so you could already see the Neopixel. But let's take a quick look at the hilt. This hilt is inspired by Bastila Shan from the Knights of the Old Republic series. This is one half of a staff. This was sent to me by someone named Lady Revan to review. So get a closer look at that. Okay, oddly for a staff, I think one of the neater design features of this is the pommel. The pommel is removable, and it has sort of a nice pointed design there. Other than that, the emitter does not unscrew like I'm used to having happen in sabers. This one, the bottom portion of the hilt unscrews so that you can get to the chassis and the board and the recharge port. This thing has a Profi board installed and a chassis and parts from Custom Saber Shop. So it's kind of a neat design on the hilt. I've seen this on a few other hilts, but most of the time the bottom comes off and they shake out with things like Vader's Vault. This is a lot more accessible and gives you full access to the board and everything that you need to have access to. So, screw that back on. So beyond that, this thing has an aux switch in the back and indented. It's almost impossible to hit that accidentally. It's got a red button in the front. The red button is not standard. This was added by the person who had this installed. But all things told, this is a very nicely designed hilt. It's small. This is on the scale of some Vader Vault hilts. It has a CoverTech wheel. Like I said, I really like that pommel, but the staff couplers for the full staff, it lines up same direction, so both CoverTech clips or both CoverTech wheels are on the same side and both switches are on the same side. The emitter, since this is all one piece right here, you don't have to worry about any of this unscrewing during use. And this bit right up here functions as a pretty nice choke. The only problem is that there's a little bit of a ledge right here, but not too bad. Mostly when you're wielding, you're going to grab it right here or up here. So very small, very sleek, no frills design, no pieces that crop out, or pop out in any direction other than the CoverTech wheel, which can be removed. So for the hilt from Inspira, for the ID4, it's a really nice design. I really like this hilt. The install itself, it's a Neopixel, as I mentioned, and I'm not real fond of Neopixel sabers, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at the install. Okay, so the chassis is fit to this really well, and it's in there very securely. The Profi board and the recharge port are in here. My only concern about this is that the Profi board itself is just sort of resting in there. It's not anchored or attached in any way, so it just sort of sits right there, but it does sit in its little groove, so I guess it doesn't move around too much. Otherwise, the install is pretty clean. Let me see if you can see any of these wires. Okay, the wires under the board all seem to be twisted pretty well and going in the right direction, so that's good. And the speaker is plenty loud. This thing is loaded up with a Revan font, at least a couple of Revan fonts, a couple of Bastila fonts, an Obi-Wan font. Let me go ahead and cycle through some of those. Okay, there was a Revan font. This is a Revan Redeemed font.
Darth Traya.
Darth Traya.
Young Rey. Hello there.
Smooth Jedi.
Nothing prepared me to face that enemy.
And then back to this one. Alright, the other thing about this install that I found a little bit peculiar is this was set up for a 27-inch blade. I'm currently using it on a 36-inch blade, so what that means 27 inches right to this point. So the install on this was made pretty specifically for a 27. I didn't realize that Neopixels even did this, but the saber knows the length of the blade and it's not going to go any further, which is a little bit odd, but I guess it's an eccentricity of Neopixel. So here we have it, ID4 from Inspira Designs. This saber hilt, as I'm informed, is about, all things told, with the Neopixel install, this is about a $400 hilt. This was about $150, I think, for the hilt itself, and then the rest of it went into the install and parts for the install. So hopefully this has been of use to you. If you want to find these guys, both Greyside Customs and Inspira Designs are Facebook companies, so you find them on Facebook and inquire there. And if this has been of use, please join me back for more. I'll see you next time.